guys, welcome back to my channel. For today's video, I decided to recreate a look that I came across on Instagram. I won't lie to you guys, I have really been struggling for inspiration over the last kind of couple of weeks. Just slowly running out of ideas, basically. But I came across this stunning all matte blue look with a pop of colour by Thefrenchbeautyboy on Instagram. I will of course link him down below, and I think he might have a YouTube channel as well, so I will try and link that if I come across it. Yeah, I saw it and just fell in love with it. It completely screams summer to me, and in fact right now I am absolutely roasting under my studio lights, so at least the weather feels appropriate for this look, I guess. Who knows anymore. I used an old favourite that I hadn't shown you guys in a while, the Revolution Forever Flawless Eyes. I spent a little bit more time on my blending. I tried to go into a bit more detail today, and I actually, for once, filmed myself doing my cut crease because I never do that. So if this video is a little bit longer today, I do apologise. So yeah, here's the look. As I said, right now I am absolutely boiling, so I think I need to wrap this up. So yeah, if you'd like to see how I got this look, then just keep watching. It really looks like I'm wearing an 80s prom dress right now. I bought this dress because I thought it had really cute sleeves. It's from Boohoo, I'll link it down below, but with the hair, I look like I'm on my way to prom in the 80s. I have, of course, primed my eyes as always with my P. Louise base, and I have got the look up on my phone, ready to go. And I've got the list of products that were originally used here as well. I don't think I own any of these. No, I don't. Okay, that's fine. We're gonna jump in with what I've got. So for the eyes, he used the Jeffree Star Blue Blood palette. I don't have it, but I have the Revolution Forever Flawless Eyes palette, which I listed in my top 5 favourite palettes of last year, and I have not used it for the longest time, so let's jump into it. I know that the colours in this aren't identical to the ones in the Blue Blood palette, so it's not quite gonna have everything I need. I will have to jump into one other eyeshadow, but we're gonna get started with this one. I'm going to start with a Zoe the 231 into the shade Iceberg over here. Do make sure you tap off the excess. Just going to make sure that there are no creases in my base before starting. And I am going to start packing this on into the crease. And I'm gonna work with my eye open right now, because when I cut my crease, I have to cut my crease really high. I actually need to make sure that I'm taking the eyeshadow itself, the crease eyeshadow, much further than my crease. This is definitely one of my favorite shades in this palette in terms of the color. It's just like my favorite shade of blue, basically, but it's not all that pigmented, so it does take some building up. And then what I'm gonna do, just bring it a little bit on the outer corner of the lower lash line, and then go outwards from there to start winging it out. I'm still just trying to pack the colour on at this point. Just going back and really trying to make sure that the colour is even everywhere. It's definitely still a little bit patchy in places, so I think I'm going to have to add a little bit later, but I want to move into my next shade now, so I'm going to go for a lighter blue, which is going to be the shade Freeze. So I'm taking this one on a Sigma E36, and I'm just going to start blending out my first shade. And I have definitely taken mine way higher up than his, but again, that's just because of my particular eye shape, so if you don't want to, you don't have to. And then I'm just gonna help wing that out. There doesn't really seem to be a lot of the lighter blue on the underside of the wing, so I'm going to leave it for now. I'm just going to do the top, and then I will come and just kind of blur everything out at the end. So for now, just working on the top. Okay, so now I'm going to go in with my darkest colour, and looking at the pictures and the shades that are actually in the Blue Blood palette, I think he's used a very dark blue, which you don't really have in the Revolution palette. This is the darkest blue that you have, but the pigmentation isn't that great. It's not going to darken the look up enough, so I'm just going to go in with some black. You can use any black eyeshadow for this. I'm going to take the one from my Viseart Neutral Mattes 01 palette, just because it's a really nice black. I'm going to take that on a flat eyeshadow brush and start darkening that up. I'm not worrying too much about blending right now, just applying the colour. As I'm placing the colour, I'm just trying to visualise where I'm going to be cutting my crease. Just kind of tracing out the basic shape. And then the outer portion of the eye looks really, really dark to me. So then I'm just going to come pack on some of the colour out here. So now I'm going to jump back into a little bit of iceberg. I'm making sure to tap off that excess, and I'm going to come in and try and blend those out. And the same on the outside. Going to add a bit more of iceberg. And then I think I'm going to come in with the E36 and again just blend. Not trying to take it any higher, really just trying to blend everything in together. Just adding some more of iceberg. Okay, I think I'm pretty happy with that, but that outer corner is looking really, really messy. I think it's all going to start fitting in a little bit better anyway once I've cut the crease. But I am just going to go in with some more of iceberg and just layer it on top and see if I can blend these in together. That was just a really, really quick bit of blending, but I like the way that looks a lot better. So now I'm going to cut my crease, and I would normally just do that with my P. Louise base in the same shade that I primed my eyes with. Because we're doing a fully matte cut crease and the pigmentation in that palette isn't amazing, I'm actually going to use one of the coloured ones today. So the first thing I'm going to do is take some micellar water. This is the Garnier one for sensitive skin. I'm just going to pop that on a cotton bud. I'm not too precise with this stage, and because we're going in with a blue base on top of blue eyeshadow anyway, I feel like probably not as needed, but I'd rather just not have too much of a build up of product, so that's why I'm doing it here. I'm going to jump in with one of my Pro Arte Master Stroke brushes. This is from the series 61, and this is size number 6. I normally use a bigger one, but because I'm going in with a coloured base, I want to make sure that I'm being extra precise. I'm just going to start by following that basic shape I created with the cotton. And then bring it downwards. I'm not worrying about being too precise at this point. What I really need to establish is how far up I need to go. The reason for that is that I have a decently sized eyelid. I'd say that my eyelid is pretty much roughly the same as the space in between my crease and my brow. But because my eyes are also quite deep set, when I move my eye around, there's actually a lot of overlap between my lid and my brow area. I don't know if that's making any sense. What I do at this point to make sure that I'm going to get no transfer is I need to start by seeing how far up the base transfers. So I just bend my head forwards and then look up as far as I can. Seems okay so far, maybe because the base has dried down a little bit, so I'm going to add some more. Look down and then look up, and it just transfers upwards up here. So that is just telling me that is how high up my cut crease needs to go in order for there to be no transfer later on once the look is done. So I do actually have to take my cut crease pretty high up, and then I can just start connecting everything up. I'm going to fill in the rest of the shape. That's what it basically looks like. I am now going to have to get really close to the mirror just to finish everything up, make sure I'm really, really happy with the shape. But that basically is a rough outline of how I cut my crease into a half cut crease. Okay, there we go. So there's my shape. I'm just trying to make sure that the colour is as even as possible. Because the bases don't dry down immediately anyway, it's going to start creasing. I'm going to have to come back just before I put my colour on and just make sure that everything is nice and smooth. In the original look, there is definitely a gradient from the lightest blue to the medium blue to the darkest one, or in my case the black. I'm just going to go back in again with my Zoeva 231 into some of iceberg, and I'm going to pack it on here and then just bring it into the edge of the base. I look very, very 80s now, don't I? So the place where I'm packing on the most pigment is where I had no blue base, and then as I get further into the cut crease, it just gets lighter and lighter. I really like the way that looks. I'm just going to take any sort of flat brush and I'm going to go into the shade Freeze. Actually, before I do, I'm going to jump back into the brush I used for the base. I'm just making sure that I have no creases, that colour is super, super even. And I'm going to come in with Freeze and pack it on And that blue base underneath is really gonna help this look more even. I really like the way it looks. Just made sure that I have coated the entire surface. I'm now going to go back in to the brush that I used with Iceberg. Not adding any more product. I just want to make sure that that edge between the two shades is really smooth. I'll add a tiny bit more. And then I'm gonna go back in with the brush that I used for the black. Not added any more product. That black is super pigmented. And then I'm also just gonna come in with my Sigma E36. Make sure everything is smooth right at the front. Pretty happy with that. Now the one thing I'm also gonna do, I'm gonna take a really tiny eyeshadow brush. At the front we do have the black that we can see really nicely. We can see the gradient, but just here, I feel like the black is getting lost a teeny tiny bit. So with my teeny tiny eyeshadow brush, I'm literally dipping in once into that black eyeshadow. And I just wanna go right where I need a little bit more and just redefine the crease. And that's it. That is how much colour I'm adding. I'm not going in with any more. And then just going to take a small flat shadow brush. Absolutely no extra product on there. And I'm going to take a teeny tiny bit of Iceberg. Again, I've literally just dipped the tip of the brush in there. So looking at the pictures, the brow bone has definitely been highlighted, so I'm also going to do that now. I'm just going to take another flat eyeshadow brush and I'm going to jump into the shade Cool and come in right in here. I don't think it comes across on camera because I'm so pale anyway, but it is really pretty. And then I'm just gonna kind of soften it out with that E36 again. So now I just need to cut the crease on the other eye, repeat everything that I've just done, and then I'm also gonna prime my lower lash line with some P. Louise base, and then I'll come back so that we can do all of that together. Okay, so my lower lash line is now primed, and I just look so brightened up. I look like an alien. I've had another look at the picture. It looks like the lower lash line is pretty much just the exact same colours again, so that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take another flat eyeshadow brush, gonna dip into Iceberg. I'm gonna attempt to press it in as much as I can, basically. It really doesn't look like there is a lot of the lighter blue on the lower lash line, so I'm gonna take a Sigma E36, a clean one. I'm just gonna start by blending that out without any extra product, and also just tying it in to that wing. And then I'm just going to come and add on more iceberg. Actually, I'm going to bring a bit more out here. I'm going to attempt to connect them up. And again with that Sigma E36, just blending. Just going to take a bit more just for this portion on my Zoeva 231 because I think it's just going to blend better out here. And then back into my Sigma E36. Again, I'm just packing some more on once more. I might leave the lighter blue until once I've got my foundation on. Make sure I've got a much neater edge than I do now because his edge is really neat. I'm going to darken that up again now, so I'm going to go into the black from the Viseart palette, just using the small flat shadow brush I used to blend out this area earlier. And we're just going to pack that right in the lashes. And then I think a bit more right in the outer corner. Just kind of linking it up to the lower lash line. And then I'm going to go in with my Zoeva 231 here. That outer corner really is darkened up now. On the lower lash line I'm going to use the Sigma E36. I don't want to take the black too low down. Just gonna layer it with a little bit more of Iceberg so that it looks like a deeper blue again and not a black. Next up I'm gonna do the waterline. I'm gonna jump back into the P. Louise base, the blue one. I'm just taking that on a small flat brush and I'm gonna pop it on the waterline. And I have to say, these do look nice on the waterline. They're definitely a lot more intense than most eyeliner pencils that I own. So now to make sure that that waterline really matches the rest of the eyeshadow, I'm gonna go into Freeze on a small eyeshadow brush. I'm gonna really tap off my excess, and I'm gonna press that in on top of the P. Louise base. And now that waterline perfectly matches the cut crease. There we go. On the inner corner, we've got a really nice fun pop of neon, which obviously drew me into this look. And for that, he's used the new Anastasia cake liners. I don't have those. I do have the yellow Super Beauty Hydra liner, which from what I hear, they sound like they do exactly the same thing. But he has also used some green more on the inner corner portion of the lower lash line. And I don't have the green one, but I do have some neon pigment pots. So that's what I'm gonna use. I've got these two. They are from Oh My Glitter. I'm gonna take some more P. Louise base. Gonna start with the green, so I'm just gonna add some more right here, just on the front of the waterline. Just gonna use a tiny brush that I just used to apply the base. Just gonna pack that on. Just gonna help blend that edge in a little bit with the flat brush I used for Iceberg. I don't want too harsh of a line. And then I'm gonna do the yellow, so I'm gonna do the exact same thing. I'm gonna start with a little bit more of the P. Louise base right on the inner corner. And then in with the pigment. Just gonna make sure it's also kind of blended in with the blue. It's not going too far. Boy, have I got some fallout to clean up after this. The last thing I need to do now is add some eyeliner. He's done a very thin line of blue liner along the lash line. He's used the new Revolution Renaissance Flick, the blue one, to do this. Again, I don't have that product. I did think about buying it when it was announced, but then I realized I didn't like the original Renaissance Flick liner all that much, so I didn't see the point. But what I do have that I've never really used since buying it is the MAC Pro Long Wear Fluid line in Waveline, which is a navy blue. I think it will work really nicely for this look. So I'm going to use it on a Pro Arte Master Stroke Series 60. This is the side 000 because I want a really nice thin line. Just going to take a little bit, and hopefully I'm going to stay in frame for you guys. And I'm just going to stay really close to that lash line. It doesn't really need any blending at the outside corner. It does kind of just match them, but I'm still gonna blend it in just a little bit. All right, so that is it for my eyes now. So I'm just gonna go and do my foundation and my lashes off camera, and then I'll come back so that we can finish off the rest of the face together. All right guys, so my face is now on. I've done my brows, I've done my lashes. I got really excited because I looked through the product list again and realized I actually had one product that he had used, which is the Too Faced Born This Way concealer, which I used to do my spot concealing. I was also starting to get incredibly hot under the studio lights because the sun literally comes in this way, and even though I've got my curtains closed, it gets really hot when you've got two box lights that are on. So I have opened the window, but there's music coming from outside, so I'm hoping it won't pick up too much. Right, so for highlighter, he's gone for the ABH and Amrezy highlighter, which I don't have, but one highlighter that I do have that I haven't been able to pick up in a while because I was way too pale for it, the Becca and Jaclyn Hill Champagne Pop highlighter. I've done a little bit of fake tan recently to make me feel like I actually tan when I go outside, which I definitely don't. So I've got a darker foundation on, so I should be able to pull this one off. I hope. Anyway, we're gonna try. Just gonna use my usual Peaches and Cream PC17. Which leaving a bit of a cast, but I will live with that. I've just realised I've forgotten a step because normally I do it off camera, but I said I would do it on camera today, so let's do that now. As you can see, this whole area underneath is definitely looking a lot cleaner because I came in with my concealer and just helped clean everything up. Now with a Clean Sigma E36, I'm just going to come back in and just make sure that that is blended out again. And I'm not using any extra product right now, literally just blending out what we've already got. Then I am just going to jump into a teeny tiny bit of Freeze because you can't really see any of it, but I think it's just going to help finish everything off. I'm actually just going to add a little bit more of Iceberg. I do feel like it's getting a little bit lost right along that edge, and I think that's probably from the quality of these shadows. It only has so much pigmentation to offer, so I just feel like it needs just a little bit of building up again, and then just blending back out with the Sigma E36. I mean, I've winged it out further than I wanted it to, but I'm not mad at it. I really like it. So for blushes, he's used some of the Revolution Blush Reloaded. I don't have any. I'm not too sure what colour they are, but looking at the picture, it looks pretty peachy. So I'm gonna go into my L'Oreal Life's a Peach. Oh, I've taken way too much, especially with this darker foundation. Just makes me want to be on holiday. We didn't have a holiday last year, so we were planning on going this year, and obviously that's probably not gonna happen, and I'm having holiday withdrawal. What has he used on the lips? On the lips, he's used Jeffree Star, Mannequin, and I'm Nude. I don't have either of those. And then on top, he's used the Fenty Gloss Bomb in Diamond Milk. I don't think I have that exact one, but I think I'll have something similar in the minis that I got for Christmas that are literally just there behind me, so I should be okay for that. Let me just pick something out for the lipstick, because I'm not too sure. Okay, I actually think that the MUA lipstick in TLC should be quite good. It looks a bit similar. So I'm gonna start by using the matching lip liner. Okay, now I'm going to go in with the matching lipstick. This is a satin lipstick. I would rather use a matte lipstick under a gloss because I just feel like it always sits better, but I've only got this one, so we'll go with that. Gonna redefine with the lip liner. And then for the gloss, I'm going to take my Fenty Beauty Mini Gloss Bomb in the shade Confetti. Yeah, I'm just not a fan of applying a gloss over something that's not matte. I just feel like everything's gonna move around underneath. But in terms of the color, I think that looks pretty spot on, I would say. And then I'm just gonna finish everything off with some Iconic London Prep Set and Glow. I feel like I should be going out now, and I'm not, and I'm sad. Alright guys, that is it for today's video. I hope as always that you liked it. I absolutely love how this look turned out. I mean, it was gorgeous in the original photos, and I am pretty happy with how I've done recreating it. I kind of never want to take it off. That's how much I like it. If you enjoyed the video, then do as always, please give it a big thumbs up. Leave me a comment, let me know what you thought of it, and of course subscribe to my channel so you don't miss out on the next video, and I'll see you all on the next one. Bye guys.